So what's everyone talking about this week? How insanely hot it is, how the heat is just ridiculous. Record temperatures over in Europe, here in the Chicago area. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's going to be hot all week, which means we're all going to have our air conditioning and fans, everything running to their fullest capacity, which also means our electric bills are going to be stupid. That's why you need to consider switching to solar. My guy, Brent Sopel, former NHL guy, former Blackhawk, Stanley Cup winner, Brent Sopel is the guy who's going to help you switch to solar. It all starts with a consultation at sopelsolar.com, S-O-P-E-L, solar.com. Imagine locking in your electricity rate for years to come. Cost certainty. No one has it. You can have it with solar. Get tax credits from the state and government totaling up to 48%. There's never been a better time to get those panels on your house, get cost certainty, and make the switch. Go green with solar power with my guy, who can be your guy, Brent Sopel, sopelsolar.com. It is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdol, doing this one from home, from what I laughingly call my home office. And the thing about me, I'm an only child. I don't know what it's like to have a connection with a sibling. So when I see a group of siblings, not only in lockstep, but doing really cool creative stuff, it kind of short circuits my brain. The Footlight District plays Cobra Lounge on Friday night, the 22nd, on the heels of their excellent recent song, Hush. And joining me to chat about the Footlight District are Cecil, Grace, and Sarah Scarbrough. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Let's start there. The only child thing. Let's talk about being able to just vibe on that wavelength and just coming together as a musical family. I'm sure this is question number one you're always asked, but I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel like being siblings is like a whole other ball game. Like we really do have that wavelength, as you say. You know, like we have a lot of similarities, the things that we like and dislike, but at the same time, we also have our very individual own taste. Yeah.
And I love the fact, if you're just listening to the podcast, you're missing the fact that the Footlight District is in full regalia. It's almost like you're daring me to ask you about it. It's the elephant in the room. Like, how long can James go without asking about the blue stripes across our faces?
Right. The perks of, having multiple things going on at once, right?
So, I'm almost spoiling the warpaint question, but let's talk about the apparel tonight. Did I catch you mid photo shoot?
You did. Actually, we're doing a lot of multitasking these days, getting ready for the tour and our show. And so we had finish up some promo photos that we were doing. So we're like, we're going to be like meeting James with blue stripes on our faces. Like,
I love it.
There we go.
I absolutely love it. It would have been better if you said, this is just Tuesday night.
I mean, it was suggested that we could just tattoo these on our face, not have to worry about.
You could have just said it's a sibling thing. You wouldn't get it. This is what we do. Well, let's talk a little more about just the band coming together, being together. I would imagine that the band would have to be fairly democratic, which is to say no one's necessarily a band leader. That's just my guess. Is that accurate?
That's very accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. We all have it's kind of like almost like a voting system, and like the majority wins, but we're also really good at like compromising. If somebody really doesn't like something and everybody else likes it, I know, right? Somebody.
That might be true.
Yeah, make things awkward. But we're also really good at like finding a solution and a compromise that we all can agree on.
You mentioned getting ready for a tour. You're going overseas, yes?
We are.
Yes.
Very excited.
Yes.
So when does that start? We're recording this in mid to late July. When do you head out?
We head out the second week in September.
Okay.
And yes.
So our first show of the tour is September 16th.
That's a thrill.
It is. Yeah. We're super excited. This would be our first jaunt over to England. So over there, we're going to see England and Scotland and Ireland. So we are just like super excited about it.
Yeah. Well, and that leads me to, I mentioned Hush, and the story of Hush is the collaboration produced remotely, transcontinentally.
Yes.
between Chicago, Italy, and the United Kingdom, working
Right.
with Russell Marsden of Band of Skulls, Enrico Berto of Mushroom Studios. The song Hush, this is an exercise in tempo changes. And when it opens, it's the harmonies that first catch my attention, and then it leads up to the big bursting chorus, Hush now, child, put away your tears, there's nothing to fear. The vibe on this song, it's psychedelic garage rock circa 66 mixed with something distinctly European. And let's go in that direction. What instruments am I hearing on this?
So there, Russell put some of his magic on there. I think like, I don't know what all he has on there, honestly. We do know there's an Italian thunderstorm in the background there. That is on there.
Yeah.
An authentic Italian thunderstorm.
Yes.
Right. And we also like, it has your main staples of like guitars, drums, bass, but then also Russell actually plays some guitar in there as well. And then his magic.
There's some piano from another friend that was on the
original track as well.
On the track that we had done originally. Matt did a great job. And I think
and
then like all Russell's magic.
Russell has his ways.
Yeah, because when I heard it and when I hear it, I'm not quite sure of everything, and I get kind of nerdy, like, oh, what was that? I'm not totally sure, but it's magic. That's the simple answer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like at the beginning, we said it sounds like a symphony orchestra, kind of like warming up right at the very beginning.
Right.
And was I off base with the vibe? I mean, there's definitely, to me, like that ramshackle garage rock 60s psychedelia thing going on.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of that's a little bit of our maybe a big part of our our sound. We really love retro, like 60s type music, classic rock. But everybody has kind of like their thing that they love. I mean, Gracie, you play a vintage kit, right? I mean,
yes, I play a 1969 Ludwig, and I'm a huge Keith Moon fan. Huge Keith Moon. So
that definitely like plays right into there. I mean, that's to say, like, our music tends to be eclectic, but at the same time, it has its like general roots about it. I think it happens because there's 5 of us, and although we have a lot of similarities and things that we each like, we do have very eclectic personal tastes. Like Gracie, like your favorite band, like your favorite drummer is Keith Moon. Cecil's a big Nirvana fan. I mean, like,
Faith loves Queen. Freddie Mercury is her inspiration.
And Hannah loves like Carole King and all that.
And hair metal.
Hair metal.
And hair metal. Carole King and hair metal,
Sure.
Like jumps in airplanes. So I mean, it's like, just when you put all that stuff together, we definitely have like a sound that carries through on each track. So, that is the Footlight District. But it tends to just like change constantly.
Yeah, and then also with adding Russell and Enrico onto the track too, it just added like so much more to it.
It was that was one of the most awesome things about the process, is that when you are a musician and you write something, you have like thoughts in your head. And you're like, okay, I've got this idea of this song, and then when you hand it off to somebody else, they come in with like completely fresh, brand new ideas that aren't in your brain, and you mash it together. It's like, oh, I didn't think about that. So it's pretty cool.
And it's pretty cool just to collaborate that way, just
Absolutely.
to doing it over a computer, basically.
Yeah,
right. And 3 different countries, all in one.
I mean, that stuff still kind of blows my mind. I mean, the fact that we're having an interview like this, still talking about magic, like this still is kind of magical to me that we can actually do this, and this will become an audio podcast with a video.
Yeah,
version.
right.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
I'm a fan of technology. All right, so that's where we're at in the present. I think I really first keyed into with your band is Warpaint, which I mentioned, which is definitely a much tougher and straightforward song than Hush. I mean, big riff, big lead guitar sounds. That's where I'm hearing that kind of classic rock influence.
Sure.
It's just laid bare on that one.
Yeah, that was our song that we wrote like when we were like locked down in COVID. We hadn't played shows in so long. We had all this like pent up energy. We're like, let's just play a song, kind of feel. And really, it's about social change. It's about like everybody thinks about, oh, I wish this was different. I wish people did that, and I wish people shouldn't act this way. They should act more this way. Like, well, actually, that change starts with yourself. You are the smoking gun. You need to put your own war paint on and be the change. Like it's easy to look around and see how everyone else should change, but we really need to take an inner look and say, oh wait, how can I change? Even like in small things. Like, I mean, certainly if you go out in a big city like Chicago, I mean, just driving is like stressful. People cutting you off and like just not being nice, you know? And like small things about just being kinder and everyday mundane things like, you know, if someone pulls out in front of you, don't flip them off. You know what I mean? That would be a good start because that ruins your day. It ruins their day.
It does.
You know? And it's just like, it's about like, be the change, put your war paint on, you're the smoking gun, do it yourself, you know, get out there and just be different.
I've got a confession to make. As you're talking, I'm looking straight past you. Whose records are behind you?
Oh, that's a nice collection of pretty much everything and everything in between. We have some Cage the Elephant, we have some Jack White, we have some Rolling Stones, some Doors, some Who else is up there? Oh, our vinyl is up there as well.
Yeah. We see you have a nice collection there.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed it. You mentioned that period during COVID. That's when it became full-blown sickness. When I was, when we were all sheltering in place, I would order vinyl online because that to me was like, oh, here comes something from the outside world. I would get it delivered to my home. It's like, great, here's music. I love music, and it's something that was given to me from outside these four walls. Fantastic. And then it just exacerbated from there, and now I'm out of space.
I mean, you can always make more space for records, though, right? I mean, they're small, you know.
Like I'm in kind of an add-on part of my home. I'm worried that the floor might actually start to buckle at some point. I don't know if I can bring in another one of those IKEA bookshelves.
You just like open up your kitchen cabinets. There'll be records in between the canned goods
and the dishes.
Exactly. Well, let's talk. Or I should mention Sopel Solar, proud sponsor of Car Con Carne. Let my guy be your guy. Brent Sopel, former Chicago Blackhawk. Brent Sopel help you convert to solar, get cost certainty. Sopel Solar, SOPEL solar.com. That's what we call the mid-roll ad. But anyway, 2019, you put out Fairy Tales for the Dark Age. Who knew at the time that the age would get even darker than when that came out? Yeah, I mean, I guess you're prognosticators, you're soothsayers. But I mean, that's on vinyl. I mean, thanks to Sugar.
Yes, absolutely. Adam over at Sugar is amazing.
Beautiful records. I don't know if you've seen them in person yet, but there's so many. There's like a huge color range, and they're just like I sometimes I just like to go in and the box and just open up to see what color comes out. There's like turquoise ones, there's yellow ones, there's gray ones, there's in between ones, and so sometimes I'm just like, what color will come out next? I just like to go look at them.
Well, so that came out 3 years ago. You've got a newish song. I mean, it came out last month. We talked about Hush. Are there more songs on the way? Is there more on the way? Are we building up to the next record release?
Yes.
Actually, yes,
we are. Absolutely.
We actually have another single that's going to be released in September. So
to coincide with the tour launch?
Yes, actually.
Yes.
Yep. We're probably going to have like a single release. So we don't have all the details like ironed out yet, but we're going to have that before we leave for the UK. So it'll be like our kickoff.
Right.
I love
our
it.
send-off.
It's called Lightning.
Yes.
So
hence the stripe.
There
Yes.
it is. We're really getting a preview tonight.
Yes, actually. Oh yeah.
All right, so Lightning on the way, and then more to come. So I mean, you're keeping busy.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And then while we're actually on tour, we're going to be meeting up with Russell and Enrico and doing some recording in person together, like in one
in
room,
the UK.
which you're really excited about.
So this will be your first time meeting IRL, as the kids say.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the lingo.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It is. It's very exciting. Enrico's coming over from Italy, and we're just gonna like have a big jam session and write some music and record some music. Probably eat a lot of Taco Bell.
And actually, Russell Marsden will be playing on a couple of the shows with us on the new track.
Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah,
right.
That's and I didn't even ask how that relationship started.
Gosh.
It just like
it was
Yeah.
it was kind of like
happened.
one of those chance things, you know.
Yeah.
like everything just kind of fell into place, and we started talking, and
Cecil started chatting with Russell and was like, "Hey, yeah, what's going on?" And then we started working together, and it was pretty awesome. It's like one of those magical moments in life. You're like,
like the internet,
and we all just really clicked. It was really fun to start chatting because we just all clicked on like a personal level as well. And so,
we gelled really nicely.
Yeah. And then when Enrico came in, he gelled too. It was like, this is like a great team. You can work with someone, but then you can like really work with someone when you really like just gel well. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So plenty more to come. I would recommend anyone listening or watching, start right with Hush and go from there. What a great entry point to the Footlight District. And we'll keep an eye out for something between now and your adventure to Europe.
Yes, so,
absolutely.
September 9th, Lightning will be released. And that one is a real ringer. Like that's the one like we're like, let's write the greatest rock and roll song ever. So if you thought Warpaint was punching, you're gonna appreciate.
And you love
Lightning.
Hush, you're gonna
appreciate Lightning.
I love it. All right. Well, the three of you, what a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for doing this. Cecil Grace, Sarah Scarbrough, the Footlight District, Cobra Lounge on July 22nd. If you watch this or see this before then, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it. It was really awesome meeting you.